Okay, welcome back. Women's Month will culminate with an awards ceremony tomorrow night. Now, COVID-19 has perhaps forced the awards to be dished out a little differently from the past years. Now, the person in the know is founder of Gsports Awards, Kass Naidoo. She joins us now via Zoom along with Liam Delcom is still with us. Kass, very good evening. Good to have you with us. Give us a bit of background on the Gsports Awards.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's our 15th edition this year, and so really proud to have it grow into a global platform. And we're celebrating in style in a different way tomorrow. So I'm not going to give away too many details, but what I can say that, as you mentioned, COVID-19 times, we have managed to roll out the red carpet for excellence. And what you will see tomorrow when the Momentum Gsports Awards premieres on our YouTube channel, and of course to various broadcasters who have access to the feed, you will find that women in sport will celebrate 2019 in the grandest style possible.
Okay, so you're celebrating women in sport here. Give us the categories that you actually have in the awards.
We have 22 categories that we will honor, along with 5 ministerial awards. And what it is almost a complete spectrum of where you find women working within the sporting industry, from athletes to administrators, women in media. And of course, when it comes to the ministerial awards, it really comes down to the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture playing their hand in ensuring this year in particular that youth excellence is supported. So every year it grows. We started with one award in 2006. So every year we spot the gaps, we include more categories. And I guess one of the biggest changes that we've seen in the past couple of years is just the number of women in media categories that we have now, which is up to 5 in 2020.
Okay, fantastic. Liam, just how important is it, Kass is talking about women in media. That's also key, isn't it, when it comes to sports? It's not just on the field.
Oh, absolutely. It's about raising awareness, raising the profile. And by the way, Kass, congratulations on the awards. I mean, you must have seen great increased awareness over the last 15 years. Can I ask you about the awards itself? I mean, how do you judge these awards? I mean, do you have a panel of people that sit and discuss the different categories?
I think if you have a look at women's sport, and for those of us who've worked in the industry for quite a long time, you know that it's largely volunteer fueled. So the nominations process is very much public driven. The judging process is put down to the elite judging panel for G Sport. And this year it included our Hall of Famer, Odessa Swartz, Sarah Kumalo, of course, who summited Everest, Marsha Cox, the former South African hockey captain. So we have a strong judging panel that brings up the shortlist. And in the end, we have a public voting, which sometimes swings some of the categories in the most spectacular way. I think you're going to see some massive upsets come tomorrow. Because in COVID-19 times, everybody is online, and we've had the most unprecedented voting. In the end, though, this is about credibility. And so the judges really play a strong hand and ensure that the cream does rise to the top.
Do you get a sense that women's sport over the last, well, let's say 10, 15 years, is gaining a bigger footprint? Because obviously we've seen that in terms of the profile, there's a lot more out there, there's a lot more visibility, there's a lot more on our screens and a lot more in newspapers and so on. But have you seen a correlation in that and sponsorship money that's coming to sport?
You know, I was asked this question earlier on today, and I think my answer will remain the same. Foundational excellence will ensure that we power to the top. And until women's sport turns fully professional, we can't really make that judgment call. But I think if you look at federations like Cricket South Africa and women's golf and SA Rugby as well, once you start handing out professional contracts, you find sponsors start taking it more seriously. One of the things sponsors are trying to avoid is becoming the cash cow that pays for administration and logistics and all those kind of things. They want to add real value. So we are seeing a difference. But as they often say, Liam, it takes 10 to 15 years to become an overnight success. We've seen that with G Sport. Women's sport has a long, long way to go. And it comes down to sincerity in action. I think we'll see in the media, particularly in the print media, which is so lacking transformation, diversity and inclusion. So once we start seeing change across the spectrum of sport, I think you'll start seeing sponsorship probably improving and increasing. The South African Football Association, for me, probably is the one federation that needs to take a leap and kind of fast forward into 2021.
Okay, listen, Kass, I've got to ask you this because you mentioned CSA, and I know you were involved with CSA at some point in your career before you moved on to Gsports. What are your thoughts of what's happening right now when it comes to transformation issues?
You know, I asked that question last week, and my focus is very much on women's sport at the moment. And this is the very thing that happens whenever you get onto an interview with women's sport, is we tend to split the conversation. I'd love an opportunity to come onto the show at some stage and talk transformation in cricket. But my main focus right now is to ensure that our eyes are on tomorrow, the Momentum Gsports Awards premiere, which is at 8:30, and the support we'll receive from all the broadcasters around South Africa tells me that
Kass, women also play cricket, also represented by CSA.
They do, and I think what you're doing right now is you're being rather unfair by taking the focus off women's sports. So I'm gonna let you guys leave it there, but please do invite me in for a conversation, because
I'm going to invite you.
No, hang on a second. Transformation it's not about a soundbite. It's a very, very serious conversation. So if you want to have that conversation, please invite me into studio.
Okay, I'm going to take you on, and we will have that particular conversation. The other thing about your Gsports Awards is that for the first time it's going to be broadcast. You did kind of touch on it right at the beginning, but just give us a few more specifics.
Well, not the first time to be broadcast.
It's not the first
We've
time.
been broadcasting for a couple of years, But what it is this year is, because we've had it online for a couple of years, we are now able to premiere the show. So right now, as I'm talking to you, we have people watching last year's broadcast on YouTube. SuperSport have come to the party, and they're going to premiere their awards at 8:30 tomorrow. So as much as we were only allowed a maximum of 50 people to be able to celebrate, we're so glad to see all the media come on board and show great and sincere support for women's sport.
Okay, fantastic stuff. All right, Kass, I'm going to take you on in that and bring you back onto the show. We have I think we can have a lovely chat.
Ready.
Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Listen, fantastic. You've done amazingly well with the Gsports Awards. There's the 2020 Momentum Gsports Awards. You were talking about a sponsorship a little bit earlier on, so I suppose we'll give it that punt as well, because that is very important for you to carry on putting these awards on. So, Kass Naidoo, good luck, and hope everything goes well for you tomorrow.